morning, everybody. It's the 28th of June and it's 2021. I have been a bit delayed this morning because since this morning we've gone on to lockdown level 4, restrictions level 5, and it was quite a shock as a lot of things have changed, obviously. Plus, I read of another 2 deaths during the weekend, which have impacted me quite severely because those were people that were part of my spiritual group and part of my Facebook friends. So, but not to go any further into this, but I want to focus at the moment on the readings that I want to do for you. And I've chosen randomly 10 people that felt were right to choose this morning, that jumped up at me as good to give a reading to, or just appropriate to give a reading to. So how I choose people to give readings to is really intuitively. It has nothing to do with who you are, what gender you are, who you are, what your concern is. It's something that just happens, that it jumps up at me, and then I start seeing the pictures and seeing or feeling their feelings. And then I give readings to those people. So I don't favor certain people or nothing at all. It's no logical process. So I want to get into this, say to you, if you want a personal reading to have more direction, I work on Zoom, I work on WhatsApp and voice calls and video calls. I do not work on emails. So, and you can go to my website, which is underneath this live video. So the first person that I wanted to give a reading to is Lucia Kulatau. And you asked me your direction in life because your mum passed away last year, August. Lucia, you are in a new direction. You have a new platform this year. And although it has been a very much a year of a lot of changes, and maybe the feeling even of that we do not have control, it is in this chaotic time that you need to realize that you cannot sacrifice your life for anybody else. Your relationship with your mother was very intense, very, maybe even at times troublesome, but also very symbiotic, which means that you were very close. But in a way, at the moment, to dive into feelings and grief and stay stuck there and stay stuck in the concept of death, which we cannot control, will not serve you, because you need to see this as an awakening process to your own spiritual growth, because with death, we learn the most for life. We become the strongest for knowing that we are alive for a purpose, that we are alive to be alive. And you have a lot of feelings, Lucia, and you need to know that you cannot sacrifice yourself even for other people, or stay stuck in these feelings, because it won't really help you to get out of your depression and out of the grief. Know that grieving has several stages. The first one is shock and denial, and then we go into emotional reactions, and very often even our hurt is hidden via the feeling of anger or revenge, and then we move back into denial if we had the right medication, or if we could have done this, or if we could have done that, which is all denial, because death, after all, if we could bring back the people, most people would most probably bring back the people that have died, but that would not be really divine order. when somebody has passed on, we need to see it as that is the process, that is a fact, that death is death, and death is not predictable in the sense of that we can really know when somebody, Lucia, that you learned a lot through these feelings, an upheaval of feelings, and that is what was the purpose of this. And as you are quite young, I can just relate to this because my whole spiritual path started when my grandmother died, and when the love of my life died, or my sweetheart, my school sweetheart died, then my real spiritual path started, and also the clairvoyance and mediumship really catapulted into existence and brought so much changes to my life that actually carried on for years. So you will not know who you are, and the changes will keep on coming in, Lucia. So you need to take every day and say, where can I make a difference? How can I help others heal? How can I live for others? How can I live and in the knowing that this was all a divine plan, that this was all divine order, and still do my daily work for the people around me, for building a business, because that's what you're supposed to be living, because you're actually a master vibration. In other words, you're a person with an older soul. You need to make a difference in this lifetime and actually be an entrepreneur, look after your own finances, control your emotions and thoughts in the way that you take charge of them, not that you drown yourself in pity or self-pity or grief, but that you see it as a process and get through it. The next person is Penny Botha. You said, and I just wrote down here, you said that your soul has died. And that is a term which I put down here as spiritual crisis. And Penny Botha, what I want to say to you here, that you cannot really medicate a spiritual crisis because it puts you really into depth, in conflict with your own spiritual path, and in depth, in touch with your own being, who you are and what you want to live and how you want to go on. And you say that there have been too many things. And that's a fact for all of us. For the last 5-6 years, even, we all had so many experiences which were not necessarily harmonious, pretty, beautiful, but they were life crises. They were identity crises. There were spiritual crises. There were existential crises. And with that, at the moment, if we are alive, Penny, when you feel that your soul has died, you need to get back to basic level of prayer, rituals, rest, proper healthy eating, exercise, again, prayer, meditation, restful exercises, walks, nature, and connecting back to nature is very important. And getting back to silence, where you have true time periods every day where you read a spiritual book, or where you just meditate, or you learn something spiritual new, that you have more fulfillment in feeling happier and more harmonious and more peaceful, because we all are meant to have peace. And why I say this so slowly is because when you feel, and you can say to yourself, I am meant to feel peace, it will resonate with your whole being. Where the rest, if it doesn't feel that it's really meant, when in your gut, it doesn't feel like I am meant to feel peace and to have peace, then you need to question what you're doing and getting back to what you want to focus on. Otherwise, the mess feeling of at the moment, which is fear and confusion and anxiety and panic, is going to overwhelm you even more, and you're going to lose even more the connection to your soul. Because when we have, the soul never dies, but there can be soul loss through accidents, traumas, happenings in our life, and also through relationships. And by the way, with the Akashic Records readings, I always do soul retrieval to get you back online with your soul purpose and with where your soul originated from and where the blocks are. So if you really have some money together, don't hesitate to have an Akashic Record reading with me, because it's a very powerful way of getting back on track, which I have followed, especially in the last 2-3 years after I had my first soul retrieval consultation. And I then did all the courses and went into reading the Akashic Records, which is another way of reading. It's more with a mind that you read into the Akashic Records. It's a very logical process, where clairvoyance, what I do at the moment, is just vision and psychicness and feelings and my own being an empath emotionally and physically of knowing where you're at and where people are at and what is important. So then it's not really has anything to do with spiritual teaching, but that I can help you there. Also, don't believe that you lost your soul, because you still have yourself. So ask yourself every day, what can I do to make myself feel happy today? And sometimes it's just by sitting still, lighting a candle, or having a aromatherapy bath, warm bath, and listen to nice music. Music is very healing as well when we feel that our soul is tired. Lynette Loksha, you asked me about your business. Lynette, you're a very hard worker. You're very much supposed to be actually working with people, negotiating with people, making compromises with people, even teaching people. And you being a Piscean, I could relate to why you choose a Manatech as a business. And you need to know that you actually started this business not most likely in the best year when you started it, because that whole idea came up during last year, it feels, and then you've been doing it all this year. And you need to take one day at a time, but persevere, because at the moment you need to heal your own dark shadow, which is very much connected to that you don't want to lose possessions. But also go into your budget, where you said that COVID and also your husband's, what I understood was lesser work, that you go into that and that you look at it and say, we cannot control life. So at the moment, the boat will be rocky, the ship will be rocky, it will be storms, it will be backwards, forwards, but you need to stay focused on what you're doing, because you're really building a business, and building a business doesn't happen in a day. It happens sometimes over years, and you will have to get through this. And even next year, more restructuring, more looking at what is really necessary in your life, and maybe to let go of a second car or selling the house to have more cash flow to be able to exist. Because at the moment, it's more important that you look at existing and surviving now than thinking in terms of 10 years' time, because in 10 years' time, we don't even know whether we are alive. So live for today, persevere at the moment. Don't allow yourself to be swept along with the mass fear of COVID and existence and survival, and where we've moved into lockdown 4, we need to be careful of not being overwhelmed when we're very sensitive people. Lynette, and I believe you're a very sensitive person, but you need to, at the moment, really live and contribute to society, humanity, community, and that's what you do with this product. So also involve other people, become a boss or become a manager in this business, and give other people opportunities to make money and market your product well, and teach people how to market, how to sell, how to go about it, how to get extra knowledge about the product, and then use that by speaking, coaching people in terms of health and supplements and supporting the immune system, because you have a big business here, and it's not all about the product and the money, it's about the well-being of the person, and that's where you're at, to educate also people of their well-being, of what really matters, that people are healthier when they eat healthy, no sugar, no wheat, exercise, meditation, prayer, better sleep, and how we can get that through your product. So it's an all-round business that you can approach, not just on survival and I need, and I greed, and I want, but what can I offer society? Because what we put in there, we always get back. That's what we experience on this planet, because this is a planet Earth is a planet of give and receive. And we need to be able to do both. Sarah Jacobs, you asked me about your health and whether it will improve. Sarah, you are a person who learns through emotional losses. You learn through death. You learn through health issues as well. And it's very important that you look at it, that at the moment and for the beginning of next year, you will most probably experience extreme frustration, what your own energies are all about. So you might be low. You might be feeling very easily sick or having a bit of flu, or don't focus on the detail, because that will make you even more depressed, because your life mission is actually to make a difference, to speak up for yourself, to not isolate yourself, but to step up to what you're doing as well, because you're 7 years younger than me. So you're 58, 59. So really look at it and say, you need to be still the man that you want to be. Don't hide yourself at home, but step up, stay this man that loves to show off and loves to make a difference and loves to stand tall, and do not allow circumstances to dampen your light. Don't allow that. Stay the leader, stay the man that likes to give what he has to give, that likes to stand up for himself, that likes to give to community, that likes to be positive towards community, and that is, in a way, a person who is easily in touch with the spiritual side of life, and you love nature. So get out there. Don't overcompromise yourself in terms of your emotions to your family or anybody around you, but stay firm and stand tall to where you are, because then your whole body cellular system will be stronger, because you'll be stronger. You're a very strong man. Believe that, Sorrel, because that will make a huge difference. Don't become the victim, because that is not a good thing, because when you become a victim, you will go downhill. When you stand strong, your aura will be strong, your cellular system will be strong. You're very easily wrap up only in yourself. Be strong for community. Be strong to give, to contribute to society, and be the leader. Make the difference that you need to make. Wilma Renee Botts. Renee, Wilma, it's very important that you look at life in a different way, because when you say, will the future be brighter? Well, just go back 100 years. And the people that were born in 1900 didn't have a future that was bright, if you really go back in history. So your whole outlook is a delusion. So come back to who you are. Come back to being a breadwinner and somebody who has to secure yourself and get stable within yourself and stay strong in your own authority, because you're a very strong woman. And in a way, you're very much out there to want to be in charge of your own financial freedom. You want your money, you want your own business. You have a problem in looking at life black and white. So start looking at life gray and start living with gratitude, because when I really get up, and today it's so gray that it will be raining the whole week, plus we went into level 4, that means I cannot go to my yoga classes. Yes, would I like it to be different? Yes, I would. But if I stay moping around that, what will I really achieve? Instead of putting my focus on, I would love to give you the readings here on my Melon streaming platform, and then I feel good about it. I feel good about what I do because I keep the focus on what is important to me. So get back to the here now, what you have now, and that the future is not in place yet. The future will look brighter when you make it brighter for yourself. Chantal de Villiers, you said, when will you find love again? Definitely be very aware, Chantal, that you don't find love. Plus, you're also not really a person who's very much connected with that family partnership elements, because your purpose in life is much more than that, that it's actually the foundations are in that you're actually a healer, that you're actually somebody who's very much a healing person, most probably very good with animals, maybe even with people, or in a medical direction. But be careful that you're not specializing in one field, but that you look at the whole of life as that you want to make a difference in kindness, in gratitude, and being grateful, in being loving to other human beings, in being compassionate to other human beings, in being compassionate also to the people around you. That you have a hard learning lesson when it comes to security and stability is so, but you've been given all these elements to have a very financial free business and even an own business. So focus on your strength, not on some or other that you want somebody else to fulfill your duties and your life mission of really being a person who's in charge of your own emotions, who's in charge of your own life, and that you really need to also be building an own business, looking at your future, maybe looking at your present, that there's much more meant for you than at the moment to find a special relationship, which will not really improve your life at the moment. So be very aware that if you meet somebody this year, it could be a very quick meeting of two souls, but like meeting of two ships at night, and then it will fade away, because there are many more reasons and seasons for relationships than lifetime connections. So the soonest you can really, what I see here, Chantal, is that you have a chance within a year to meet somebody, but then you also need to be very much clear about what are your boundaries, what do you really want, and not to settle for second best. Kitta Smith, you asked me about die boerdery, your farming. Kitta, what I want to say first of all is well done. You were supposed to be really empowering yourself, and running this farm business on your own at the moment is exactly where you needed to be, because even though you experienced a death in life, which is very sad because you lost your husband, which must be such a big adaptation, your hubby was never meant to be there for the long haul. He was meant to go because now you come into your full right. In other words, you come into your life mission of being empowered, making your own decisions and trusting your own decisions, what life is all about and what business is all about, and your money decisions as well. Stay focused, Kitta, because you're very much a person who's focused. You're very much connected to material possessions as well. You don't like changes. There's more changes to come. And it could be very much, Kitta, that you make decisions very quickly. If, for instance, you have a very good offer for your farm, I would let it go within the next year. And it could be within the first 3-4 months of next year that you have a very good offer, or that you suddenly come around and you decide that you want a different lifestyle, you want to make your money in a different way, you want to do something else in a town or in a city and buy a place in there, or you have a place there and you rather want to have a shop or own a business in town. But that's the kind of stuff that I see at the moment where you will have choices. So know that at the moment you're doing the right thing. Your husband, by the way, is very well. He's smiling. He always put his hand onto your lap or onto your hand, and he said it would all be fine. He was a very peaceful soul most of the time. Kind eyes, kind person. When he was looking at you, he trusted you tremendously in what you did and what you do at the moment. So you need to know that he has your back. Jenny Jacobs, you asked me about your daughter that has passed on. Jenny, your daughter must be over already for a couple of years. And you need to know that you have very often the connection with your daughter, because I feel that you see her virtually in waking, during waking hours. You see her in front of you. You hear her. You have her in your dreams. You smell her. You know exactly that she's around you. I don't know why you ask whether she has peace, because she comes through with all her presence to show you that she's okay and that she trusts everybody to look after. I don't know why I see these children, but I see 2 children or 2 young people, and I see the family. So my feeling is your daughter really was always concerned and loving and caring about family, and that she's still very much present because she looks and she sees what is being done, and she's very much at peace with what is being done here and what everybody does. And she wants you, Jenny, to be at peace because she's at peace. And she wants you to actually know that she's around because you can experience her. And I see again that you see her in front of you, you envision her, you see her in a vision. You must know that this is for real. We don't often see somebody like really physically there, although I've seen quite a lot of my loved ones physically in front of me suddenly, and then I'm so in shock because I think somebody's in my place, where mostly it's that inner picture that we have of somebody that passed on, and then we know that they come and visit, that they're actually there, that the other level or the other side is actually also on this side. There is no above and below. It's all in levels. It's all different levels. And some people can see through these levels, like I can see through these levels. And you will experience more and more that clairvoyance or that psychicness or that intuitive feeling of knowing that your daughter is really around you. Celeste de Villiers, you asked me whether you will get a work. And at the moment, Celeste, my feeling is somehow that you're not looking in the right direction. I have the feeling you're very good with technology. You're very much a detached person. You love your own freedom. You need to live your own truth, which also has to do with traveling to other countries when we can do it again, living even in other countries, experiencing nature, experiencing animals, experiencing life as an adventure. So my feeling is maybe that it would be very good if you look into the area of where can you earn commission, where can you just do teaching. I don't know why teaching came through, but it comes through at the moment because you're stuck at the moment because you believe yourself to be stuck and that you don't want the changes and you're angry at life. And if you really are aware and you say to yourself, I feel confused, I feel angry, I feel disturbed by life, because this year is a hard year for you to put one foot in front of the other one. But my feeling is that you have opportunities where at the moment they're not what you think you should be getting, but that you have to look into another direction of what you really love doing. And even if somebody offers you a work for 2 weeks or 2 months, take it, because you will find your life's mission and your work by following your gut feeling at the moment to do what you need to be doing just for the time being, because you're actually not following in your life mission because you want knowledge the whole time and you want to be in a permanent position somewhere, which is at the moment not meant for you, because you will go into different training. That's my feeling. You will go into a different training, a different field, if you follow through here. And I would recommend that you pray morning, noon, and night at the moment for guidance and direction, because you will have it. And you will be led, and you need to trust at the moment, because you so easily go into intensified fear and rage and all of those feelings, energies, and then you're really stuck in depression, which is not a good thing for you and for nobody. So get out of there, go back to what you liked when you were a child, look a bit into what direction could you retrain yourself, because any kind of studies or marketing courses this year is also good for you. Manette Herbst, has your mother found peace? Yes. The only thing, and I thought I need to give this to you because your mum sits and she listens to everything. And it's like her life and also your life and all of it goes past her like a movie that she sees and looks at. And she's still in that space where she does introspection about her life, what she learned, where she was at, what she feels happy about, what she could have done better. And that's a stage that we go into when we've passed on, where we then look at our life and say, what have I learned? What was my purpose? What would I address today differently? And we have this overlooking and insight into our past life. And then we have a bigger vision of what was really important. What would we like to have in another lifetime? How would we like to improve of this lifetime? So she's into an introspection inside, overlooking her life, but she has a smile on her face, which she always had when she was really happy, when she could look at everybody, what they were doing or surrounding her, and that she looks at all of this totally in peace. I hope that this has helped you, Manette. I do believe that I've gone through everybody that I wanted to give a quick reading. To say again, if you want a reading as well for just, I've made up my mind that I will do a special for people for about 40 minutes, just in life mission, soul purpose, soul origin, and where you should not be focusing on. In other words, are you in your comfort zone, life-wise, and therefore stuck, feeling bored, feeling tired, feeling sick and tired? Where can you improve your life? I will give those readings for 40 minutes for 950 Rand, and you can basically, the cost will be 950 Rand, and you can basically sign up for one of those readings for half an hour on my website, but I will give you 40 minutes. And if you then say that you want a reading with life purpose and soul origin, and looking at your direction where you're at the moment and how you can really go forward, I will help you with that in a reading. So for today, all go well. May you be healthy. May you be happy, and may you be well, and may you do whatever you're doing today in peace, harmony, focus, and in the knowing that we are always protected. Lots of love.